What's up, guys? It's Richie Rich back yet again, and this time I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the 2020 presidential election in the US of A. Be sure to check this. So yeah, man, who would have thought? Almost coming to about 3.5 years until we got the biggest shock, not even in the universe, but of all time, of having the first reality, uh, I'm not gonna say self-proclaimed, but billionaire become the president of the United States. Uh, it was funny, when Donald J. Trump, we're gonna build the wall, you know. When he got elected, I remember it was the fall of 2016. I will always remember that day. But let me actually proceed back. When the first elections were getting made, so like kind of like this time, when the campaigns were there and every party had their who was gonna lead, the election to become the president. I was actually in Canada at the time, visiting my folks, and I remember seeing Donald Trump. That was like one of the first times I saw him since The Apprentice, and I was with my folks, and we were like, he's never gonna win. You know what I mean? I was on that boat. So I remember like the journey of how he went from, where there was Jeb Bush and the other political, cronies who were there, who I thought like Trump would have never lasted that long, and then he kept cutting down, cutting down, cutting down, and he ended up getting into one on one with what's his name, Hillary Clinton. And yeah, like I remember I remember when it went to the last day, and I remember I was watching the debates, which I never had seen anything like this at that. I guess the whole world seen this, the way like Trump was on there, living color, and he was just speaking so openly, like, he didn't give a F. I'm gonna say anything I want. You can vote for me or not. I know, but I guess he always believed that he would always win because the stuff he said that just basically felt like a guy who didn't give an F. Like you could always tell Hillary was always kind of politically correct the way she would answer a question. She didn't want to offend any kind of supporter who, if they heard her say this, they would probably turn her against her. Where Trump on the other hand was just like, no matter what, I have all the I have all the balls in my court. You know what I mean? I'm shooting for the fence. He always just came off convincing. The two, but like I remember, like I watched that last okay, the last night before they actually elected in the morning, and even to this day, I remember at that time of the moment I was like, there's no way there's no way. USA could not be that um they could, oh, they could not be that like foolish to elect him. There's no way. And when I remember I woke up, I scrolled through my phone as these millennials do, and I guess I'm a part of them. But I remember scrolling through and I just saw pictures of you know DT, Donald Trump. And I was like, this is probably like just pick saying like, he lost, he lost by a landslide, he lost. Then I checked and they said like, this is the new 40, I think it's the 45th president. And I was like, get the heck out of here. There's no way, because I thought someone maybe had made like a fake kind of like, poster or like an image, just planted his face there, Then I remember like, I don't, I watch CNN occasionally on like big, like kind of newsworthy, events such as this, and when he came on, I was like, OMG, I really, really couldn't believe it. And I think, him winning it, it speaks on like the whole, how can I say, the shift, like the shift that's taken place like in this world of now where being like a figure now is more important than someone who actually has the credibility and like the idealistic values to do like a job that they should be doing, like it's more of like now, with, and this is where like I think social media has part to play, and like, just like, you know there's just a theme now of like people who are now gaining positions just because of the name only. We all knew Donald Trump before. This like real estate tycoon who inherited his millions from his father. We all knew about him before. But it felt because of the popularity of the guy. Because I ain't gonna lie. Donald Trump's very charismatic. He knows how to work the cameras, but it still shocks me that you're gonna put this reality star in the like main, the like commander in chief of not only the US, United States of America, pretty much the world. To be the president of the United States really means pretty much the most important job in the entire world. Sometimes in the cosmos. So I just don't think it's not a position you can take lightly. You know what I mean? Like I've never wanted a position of that kind of magnitude, because of the stress. Not that I'm saying I couldn't do it, because you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, I'm a firm believer of that, and I have been doing a lot of stuff that people told me I was never qualified to do, or I wasn't capable of doing, and I was able to do it. What I mean? So I remember when Trump won, I was kudos to that, because everyone's mama, auntie, uncle, cousin, they all said he had no chance in HELL to win it, and he did it. So I commended him for that. But it was just like, you know, where's the punchline with this joke? Yeah, you did it. I mean, you got on stage. You got through applause and that, but you're gonna let this guy go on tour? Like, I just didn't think, even for him now, 2019 approaching like 20 years in like noughties, and then they're seriously considering for another re-election so he can be in the second term. Because what usually happens is, usually presidents who have been in their first terms usually stay on for the second terms. Happened with Obama, even with all that, onslaught that George Bush did to America. He even got a second year. So it's just a usual tradition for most of his presidents to get another term. But as I was going back with the figures, and I won't dwell too much on this, but it's the part. And yes, I will address them. I will put them into it. The KKK, keeping up with the crazies. Jesus and Jesus and Dweebus, the whole Bedwench family. Because of how they're like just these big social figure things. Like, I think what is it? The Kanye's Kanye's BITCH, Kim K. She has almost like I think 200 million followers. You know, which is more than some like actual Hollywood actors and celebrities, some of them combined together, who are actually talented and putting in work in their craft. She has more of a platform because she went out of her way to be this social media phenomenon. But if you ask them what she's known for, well, I made a tape with a with an African American when I was this old. I didn't know it would get leaked, but it is what it is. And it was funny, like just in the MTV Movie Awards, they still addressed it. And it's just a pretty shame. Like Ray J's, he's not gonna be remembered if I had one wish. That's that's not gonna be on your list of like accomplishments. It's like who let the dog out? That's what happened, man. But like you know, it's like now it's a case of, you know, who has the bigger platform. That should be the most important person. That should be the one to make the most important decisions, which I think is totally wrong. You know, it's allowing most of the the people, or this new generation, which I'm a part of. I'm just a bit older than these, like, I'm like the first of the millennials because I was born in the 90s. But like these ones who are coming off the 2000s, it's like they're listening to some of the idiocy that, like, Kanye West is saying, Kim Kardashian is saying, and even a Donald Trump is saying. Like I said, it was a funny joke, but you to let this guy go on tour is a bit, what I mean? Like, just to even go back on Trump, man, like, it takes like it takes someone in these kind of position to say these comments, and there's never going to be any kind of like retribution or payback. For instance, when Trump said like we should ban all Muslims, bro, man, you cannot say that. You don't even have kids saying that in secondary school, like, oh, we shouldn't let Muslims play soccer or football because they're not even on the professional Premier League teams. You would expect an infant to say that, but they don't even say that. But you're telling me one of the most important positions in the world, in the free world, you're gonna say we should ban Muslims, and even on there, right there, they didn't impeach him. They didn't kick him out of the office. They just did this kind of thing of like, well, that's Trump, you know what I mean? So they just say, yeah, business as usual, and I compare when he's saying like that, and the thing is, I'm from, I'm saying, but like, I'm west, the west side of Africa, which is very divided with Islam and Christianity. I identify myself as a Christian, but like, I've got a lot of soul brothers who are Muslim, and for him just to say an unintelligent quote like that, and this is the guy, like I said, Obama said, like, he has the hands on like the nuclear button. That's not sensible at all. Then on the flip side, boyfriend material Kanye West saying, like, I mentioned this, like, a couple times, I mentioned this before, saying like slavery is a choice. They're saying it, or they're only saying that in because they're in this kind of position that they've not got to worry about, like, okay, I've got to go bed early tonight because I got to go wake up in the morning, to go work a job that I hate, you know, to go possibly be with a woman that I don't love anymore, you know, all these things that they don't want to do, but they have to do it because they're not in a position like these. Like, I call them the trio, like Kanye, Donald Trump, and Kim. And why I mention them as a trio because, like, when you've got this, like, this whole like there's at least a whole group of celebrities that have been like F Trump, F Trump, F Trump, F Trump, F Trump, F Trump, F Trump. the line stretches, the where he wants to build the wall. It stretches all of that. It's only Kanye and Kim who are pretty much despised by anyone everywhere, but what do they care? Because they're like, multimillionaires. They're endorsing Trump, saying Trump's not a bad guy. Why do you think they're saying that? They're speaking in the same language. They're going to these like diamond balls with like 10 million chandeliers, so they're within the same community. You know what I mean? Try it very it is so reminiscent to like the OJ Simpson thing. Like I watched the Made in America, and OJ Simpson was like he was so rich that he didn't even consider himself he was black. He would one time. I remember one time when he was getting drove out, he was saying like or what these the N words around doing in Brentwood because he thought he wasn't black. I feel like this kind of complexion has now gone with Kanye West, that he feels that he's so rich. He's got the Caucasian woman. He's basically got that kind of Caucasian money, and he's got that kind of platform that he can say what he wants. And these black people will always side with him the same way they sided with OJ when they never really give him two rats about them anyway. Yeah, man, and yeah, that's just it's like that's how really the nature of the game works now, man. It's like, because you're not seeing Beyonce or Jay-Z going to the White House. You're not seeing like George Clooney going to the White House. You're not seeing Denzel Washington going to the White House. Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp. They've all talked about their disgust and disdain for Donald Trump. But you know, like I said, the two people, pretty much just like they're just walking into Trump's place. Like you know what I mean. It's just and it's just I just feel sorry. When I see them images, like when Kanye was in this saying, "Oh, you're like my dad, fam," and then you got like the kids wearing the MAGA hats. It's just, I never thought like humanity would ever go in such a decline this soon. Before like robots took over the world. I never thought it would go this soon. But it's just like leading on to what I'm going to say. Because this is not because first and foremost, Rich Fanatics. I'm not no political person. I'm like the worst comes to politics, man. I don't even know what Democrat is. You know what I mean? But like, I'm joking. I do. But like, I'm not the best one to like deal with like who should be running, who's conservative, comment all that. I'm not the one. What I have learned from these people in charge, not like in charge, but in these kind of ones in these top positions, like a Kanye, like a Kim, like a Donald Trump. Money talks, man. Like that's just the be all end all, man. They're in these positions because, like I said, they can. It does. People think it doesn't happen, but it does, man. They can bribe the right people. They can get the right people to say the right words that they need to address their kind of communities or their fans' followings. They can do these kind of publicity stunts like, "Hey, let's get this person a prison for reform to make myself look good." Oh, Beyonce's not doing this, but I'm doing it. It's all part of the plan. You know, but as I was leading on to it, what I was saying is like with obviously the other people, and that's so sad. Like I'm saying like the other people because I don't even know too many of the other candidates who are running against Trump. We all know about like Joe Biden, and I think it was Harris. The woman who I believe she played on the Breakfast Club. About the I think it was the mixed race woman who's running against Trump, and a few other candidates. And it's like I've been doing a lot of like just watching. This is one of the reasons I just wanted to make this quick thoughts on this. Like I did watch a lot of like the other candidates, and It just feels like with them, they, because without question, Donald Trump is a star, you know, and what happens now, especially with social media, when everybody really wants to be a star, you know, they when they see these other ones who, like I said, and this is one of the reasons why Hillary lost, when they see these other candidates who are so like tightly knit, who are gonna always try to say the right things rather than saying what they want, you know, they're always gonna kind of lose out, you know. And I even watched one vid where they showed Trump and they showed the other candidates, and they said they're already saying Trump's gonna win because Trump just has that kind of assertive, kind of like dominance, like yeah, you know, as stupid and as idiotic you can say, but yeah, we're gonna ban all Muslims. He even insulted a disabled guy, and this is the president of the United States. He called the woman who was on The Apprentice, and I think she left because she couldn't even handle him anymore. She called him he called him a dog. He called Joe Biden a loser, just straight up. You know, said like he's slower than he used to be. You know, would you want to vote him? You know, he straight up trash talks like a WWE pro wrestler, man. But the people love it. You know what I mean? It's literally like, you know, we can get behind it because we love the personality that Trump brings. You know, but it's just as I said, like that's pro wrestling where it's like you know, kind of like cartoon characters. You know, everyone's playing a story. You know, but it's funny. I'm gonna say this is reality, but it legit is reality. And to have him in the states for another 4 years, man, like you know, I even though like I said he's harsh, he's firm on like his decision for like making the wall and that. Like I said, there's a lot of policies I do agree with, like no one should be coming to the country illegally, and that's where a lot of crime does happen. But there's a way of like doing it. It's like it's not just like, we build a wall straight away, and like, oh, you're gonna pay for it. There's a way about talking a way about doing things. Like there's a nice approach you can always do first before like saying I'm gonna just attack someone straight away. But you know Trump doesn't speak that credo, so I always just feel like him, like with all the past presidents from Reagan, Carter, Bush, or my favorite of and yours, Obama. To him now, it just feels like just the most lethal. Like he's very got a short fuse, like seeing him in these media, out, when he's answering questions from fake news, it's like he wants to attack and implode on each and every one of them, and Obama always had this kind of calm, charismatic, but charismatic in a different sense of like, you wouldn't let these questions affect him, you know what I mean? Because Obama wasn't Obama wasn't trying to attack everyone. He was just like kind of like the best man win. With Trump, he's kind of like if you're not trying to make America great again, you're an enemy, and so I'm going to attack the heck out of you, and I just don't think in a land of opportunity, you know what I mean? Oh, say can we see, you've got a guy who is trying to bring so much division to a country that's so multicultural, and in this day and age, it feels like it's going backwards having this because I've had people, I've heard, I watch a tremendous amount of like, television and media and, read newspapers and what people say about Trump's like, is he bigot or racist, Richie Rich can't say that, but I would definitely say that there is a Ku Klux Klan member in Mississippi, you know, watching like him in like when he was in Florida in his re-election and probably giving a salute and that, he is making white supremacists happy, that kind of thing of like, yeah, yeah, we're back, boys. And then what equally makes it worse is when you have an Uncle Tom like Kanye West saying, you're my dad, man. But hey, 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 don't worry about it. Forget what I say. Kanye West says free thinking. So what do I know? But yeah, man, that's just like, man, my thoughts about it, his thing, because I'm actually, I'm not letting the pickle out of the jar yet, but I've got some kind of like moves I've got to do in that side of the world, so fingers crossed I'm able to do it. But like, it was really nice, like, the Obama years, the Clinton years, these years with, DT as president, it just seems very unpredictable, and what was equally sad is I can see here now where 4 years ago I was like, was it 3 years ago? I was like, there's no way he can win. Just being now 1 year to the re-election, I cannot see how he wouldn't possibly win again. These candidates, you know, they're not in the same kind of category. Like they don't have the same kind of strength to tackle Trump. I've always said this, like with like the whole kind of like this dominance of the Kardashian thing. The reason why they're sticking around for this time being is because no one has gone out of their right way to basically like attack them, and I don't mean like attack them like I'm just like, yeah, you have no talent, slap them on the street. I ain't saying that. I mean a competition. Like look how AEW now has come to. I know it's completely off subject, but AEW has come to challenge WWE. It's competition. So I mean, you never know. AEW may do something great, and you never know, they could put them out of business. But with the Kardashians, there's not been some kind of like force or like some kind of being to say like, you lot suck, because it doesn't matter if I say it. It doesn't matter if like Dan, who lives in Louisville, Kentucky, he's making a video, similar video like me, talking about this, saying like, Kardashian suck, Kanye West is a screwball, DT Donald Trump is a menace. It doesn't matter what we say, because we're still seen as the pawns, on the chessboard. We're the lower end of the spectrum. The only way to challenge these laws is to be on the same level. I can't be a dolphin and go fight a shark, because the shark's gonna rip me shreds, will destroy me differently. The only way, what I mean, the only way to attack a shark is to be a shark myself, or be something bigger. You know, what I mean, and that's the situation. Like I feel like we've just like, I like I said, there's a group in the DC Comics, foes of Batman, called the Terrible Trio. And I call them, man, Trump, Kanye, and Kim Kardashian, man. They're a terrible trio. And like I said, the issue is maybe between them three, they've got billions of dollars, but where is the next, like, billionaire to come and try and like take them down, because we all know these laws are silly, foolish, but when you're putting these law on CNN, when you're letting them enter in the White House, but hey, because they've got all this money, I guess they are intelligent. I guess they are, of some kind of importance. And it's just these, like, when these are just like putting them in these kind of positions, we can always, as the viewers, just watch in awe and can't really do anything about it. But this is what I'm saying. But it's not something to give up hope. Like I do believe, I really wish though, like someone, even if Biden, do whatever you can. Like, yeah, hopefully, I've heard, Obama may run in as like the second, like to help him, win his election, like endorse him. What I mean? So hopefully, the people who did vote for Trump now know what he really is, and they switch and they just vote for the other candidate. You know what I mean? Because like it's just you know what I mean, you know I I honestly, I can't say, I'm not really a person who can be like, I hate someone, and that is not, it's not really my kind of style, but, I just think it's really bad imagery when you're seeing like Kim, I did, whatever you want to call them, in the White House, Kanye West having the freedom what to say, and just making people, who have the skin color like me, making people have like an even more worse like, stereotype. Anyway, it's already hard for us out here anyway, and you're just making it what I mean, quadruple more times harder, and because I just feel with him, he is what, if you consider the negative connotation of what a black person is supposed to be, has the white woman, is very abrasive. Um, People call him like a musical genius, but if you were to say like he was an actual high intellectual person, I doubt that, because he wouldn't be saying them kind of things, what I mean? And like I said, and then he's siding with Trump, the Uncle Tom, you know, he's everything, black people should, black, especially black men, should not aspire to. But they'll say that like they love his music. Same like with Kim K. Oh, she's so curvaceous, she's so beautiful. She has all these black features, but she's white, so they like her. Oh, we love Trump because he doesn't give a F. He says what he wants. He's a billionaire. He's like a king. They're loving this up for the wrong reason. And, it always, it's soon up. Hopefully it never happens, but this may be one of these situations where it may come to haunt some of these people. When there was a time to stand up and say, look, we ain't letting you mofos go any further, you know, we should stop you then. They'll let them go, and you know, I can only see bad things coming with Trump still in the White House, man. Like I've watched the whole years, and this doesn't look like it'll be a happy ending. Oh, yes, members of the rich team, man. That was just my thoughts on the re-election. Please, man, let me know. Let me know people's opinion about like I said, I called them the terrible trio, man. Is them free? Is them free? If we got, it's not just Trump we gotta take out. And I'm not saying like take out Trump, but like if we wanna get Trump at the White House, it's got to start with Jesus Walks and I Made Money from Ray J. Ray J doing some work. You gotta start from there. It's the only way. Let me know what you feel about this whole re-election, man. Do you think Trump's got in the bag? Do you think another candidate will shock us? What lies in store? What's lies in store for US of A? Stay tuned for the next episode of Donald Trump's. Just let me know, and yeah, I assure you, when the planets do align once more again, Richie Rich will be back yet again. Push two fingers. Alone, gonna end up a bit.